The Joe Rogan Experience.
What politicians are like actors are not quite good looking enough to get into movies and television shows. They can't host Entertainment Tonight, but they can read off a teleprompter, you know, and they can do a good look, Kamala Harris had one good read off a teleprompter, and she shot up in the polls. That's the power of just a performance when you want to believe something. You want to believe.
That's true. I mean, I don't believe anything anymore. You know, I can't.
I was watching this. These guys were breaking down. You know, they can track cell phones. They can figure out like whose cell phone was there. They can get metadata. And they were talking about these Kamala Harris rallies, about how organized they are. These people are coming in on buses, and many of them have been to multiple rallies. And that when this one local one, like 80% of the people came from somewhere else, and they were all bussed in. And,
how do they know that?
Well, I'll send this to Jamie because this one I actually have. But I think they know it because of you could track data on a phone now.
Oh, they're doing the geofencing stuff?
I don't know exactly how they do it, but they're doing something in which they can tell when your phone has been in an area. Okay, I found this guy's. I found his the other video. Yeah, here, I'll show it to you, Jamie, because it's even grosser hearing it come out of this guy's mouth.
This is an hour-and-a-half video on his YouTube channel that I think it's taken from.
Yeah, but this is the clip. I'm sending you the clip from Instagram for whatever. I don't know if Instagram's hiding it. I don't know what's happening, but
they wouldn't do that.
It's on his Louder with Crowder page. That's why.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. God, I hate looking up things on my phone in the middle of a fucking show, but sometimes you have to. So these guys, what they were showing is that here it is, that people, it's just very organized and people are being bussed in, and is that okay? Is that ethical? I mean, maybe just making it more convenient for them to go to the Kamala Harris rally. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if you are organizing crowds, like say if you do a game show, like if you host a game show, you know, Wheel of Fortune. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Those people are all paid. Most of them, or sometimes you let fans do it for like a very popular show. But I have personally been on a lot of shows where the audience is paid. So
interesting.
It's basically like if you're filming a sitcom, you can, and nobody knows what the sitcom is. There's a company that you can hire, and you pay the audience to come in, and the people cheer. They have an applause sign. Everybody cheers. They laugh when you tell them to laugh. Like there's a guy in the audience that's like doing this to them that the people at home don't see. So it's all theater, right? So they could do that same strategy for a political rally.
Yeah.
Easily. If you're talking about all the money you're going to be in control of when you are the president of the United States, which is a spectacular position. Not just that, but then all the money you're going to make in appearances and forever, right? You're going to do Goldman Sachs talks and make $500,000 for no apparent reason. There's so much money involved. You don't think you would pay audiences to come and cheer? That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
I don't know. Do you think that's immoral?
Well, I think we have like very loose rules on what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. Like there was a lot of outrage because people were saying that ABC somehow or another had gotten the subject matter to Kamala, and that they had agreed to Kamala that they were not going to ask her about her DA record when she was in California, and that they were not going to talk about some other person she was involved with that might be in trouble, and they weren't going to fact check her. And then they said they were only going to fact check Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Which is what led to her saying quite a few things that weren't true, and no one said anything about it, particularly about troops being deployed overseas.
Yeah.
Did you see that video where the troops are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I got a really good friend of mine that's deployed in overseas right now. And,
not according to Kamala Harris.
And, he's sniping bad guys over in Africa.
Yeah, how mad would he be if he heard that?
I mean, they're pissed.
I'm not in a war zone.
They're pissed.
They should be pissed. So this is from an Instagram account. I don't know what podcast this clip came from, but let's just play it.
rally. 5,003 mobile devices at Kamala Harris's rally in Charlotte, North Carolina on Thursday afternoon. It appears over 3,600 came from Georgia, mainly Atlanta, Georgia, and approximately 720 from Savannah, Georgia. So that's a North Carolina rally with almost 80% of the attendees being from Georgia.
After you do the math, that's only 600 or so local people from North Carolina that attended. That's all who shows up, and you're planning to what, get 80-something million votes again? Something ain't right. And then all these people come from buses, and it's kind of weird because at the Trump events, you don't really have like organized buses like that. People just kind of show up and park on their own. But at the Kamala rally, there's just these lines of buses at every event, which is weird. And a lot of the people are also the same people that attend multiple rallies. Can you read those tweets?
Any of the same ones from previous events, because this guy's tracking the cell phones, I guess, and he says 90% have been to 3+ rallies, 54% were even at Arizona and Nevada rallies.
Now, it could be that she is so popular that it's like Swifties. They just follow her around. Or it could be like, the Grateful Dead was in the 1970s. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe she's just so amazing all of a sudden. Maybe Stella got her groove. Something happened and she just kicked into gear and now she's her best self.
Yeah.
Her best self. She's going to be the president. Yay, let's go to these rallies.
I'm sure that's what's going on.
Could be that. It could. It could be that.
I don't think it's really immoral.
It's just immoral.
It's just a rally.
Well,
everybody wants their rally to be full. I mean, it's a facade, man. It's just a facade.
If you can do it for a game show, you could do it for a political event. I don't think it's immoral. I think if they did give her the questions and they really did, and this is someone signed an affidavit. See what's going on with that. See what's the latest with that, Jamie. So someone signed an affidavit that was an ABC employee that claims these things. And it was very clear there was bias. It was very clear that they were fact-checking him and not fact-checking her. But it was, unfortunately, he doesn't do himself any favors because he kind of goes off the rails sometimes. They're eating dogs. They're eating cats. Which, by the way, they may very well be doing that. That's a thing they do in Haiti sometimes. Sometimes they sacrifice animals and, they have local rituals, religious rituals that they do.
I mean, this has been going on for a long time, though. Sometimes the Kung Pao chicken is a chicken.
Right. I mean, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. And to try to pretend that it's racist to say that, no. Humans sometimes will do things.
According to this, it says that this started with a claim that there was an affidavit, but I don't know that it's ever been actually presented to anyone.
Interesting. Didn't it get discussed on Twitter and people were posting about the veracity of it? I think Elon even put it on his post. Colin Rugg, I know, had it on his. Yeah. I think it's probably going to be hard to tell unless charges are filed.
It made it to Congress, but it doesn't say that it was. I don't see that.
It said it made it to Congress.
They talked about it, but
Bill Ackman. That's right. Bill Ackman was the guy who tweeted it. Didn't know if the claim was accurate, but shared it anyway, which is what's fun. It's fun to do on the internet. Vance addressed the supposed whistleblowers' allegations with reporters, saying it should be a national scandal if true. Trump again mentioned the whistleblower September 13th at a rally in Las Vegas, claiming that Harris had received the debate questions in advance. Fortunately, we had a leaker or a whistleblower. I don't care which. I love that person. The way he talks is such a Trump statement. Representative Dan Muser in Pennsylvania said in a Fox News interview that he would try to bring in ABC News and the whistleblower before Congress to testify about the affidavit.
And they said that the person who did it was killed in a car crash, and that seems to be false.
Yeah, that was amplified by Marjorie Taylor Greene, who also doesn't do herself any favors. I think they do stuff like that. This is my take on that. When I saw all these people tweeting that the guy died in a car crash, I was like, that might be a trap. That one might be a trap.
Yeah.
I think they do stuff like that. Well, they'll throw out a fake story and get people to share it, without looking into it at all, and it turns out to be complete horseshit, and it makes the whole thing look like horseshit now. Now it looks like makes the affidavit, it's at least connected to horseshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a good tactic.
Yeah. Smart tactic.
They got a lot of good tactics.
They're very organized, which is really interesting. And that's one of the things about Trump is that he's so dominant and he's so swing from the hip that no one can kind of corral him, you know? And it seems like she's really open to being coached. Like some of these speeches are very different than any speeches she's ever given before. And you see the difference between that and then, like, did you see the Oprah interview?
No.
She's off the rails.
Yeah,
Off the rails.
I heard about it.
Into fucking wine mom country again.
Wow.
But Tim Dillon is the best. Tim Dillon's like, she's saying gypsy curses. What is she saying?
Oh, man.
It's like when you get her off the rails and she is, it's kind of fucked up, right? Because that's not the job. The job is not being able to sound cool in an interview with Oprah. That's not the job. But that's the most important part about getting the job.
I just want to hear, like, you know, how they're going to accomplish all this stuff.
Well, they're going to do it once they get in, even though they're already in.
Yeah, that seems to be the typical response, right?
Well, one thing that you can see, like, really clearly is there is a ferocious effort to stop Donald Trump from becoming president again that I've never seen before. I've seen tight races. I've seen people very divided. You know, I've seen it for years. There's always been, like, a division between the Republicans and Democrats in this country, but not like this. Not like this, where the guy almost gets killed twice and they don't even talk about it.
It's scary, man.
It's nuts.
It's scary.
Almost gets killed twice, and the second one, they just brushed it off. Like, I don't even think the guy got a shot off.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was set up at a golf course for 12 hours with a bulletproof vest on an AK-47 and was specifically there to kill Trump. And you don't think that's crazy?
I think it's crazy they didn't cover it. I mean, it barely got covered.
Barely, in and out. And then the brother of the guy, or the guy's son, gets arrested for child pornography.
Do you know, have you looked into the BlackRock commercial stuff at all? Is that real?
The one shooter was in the BlackRock commercial. That was the kid that tried to kill Trump.
Yeah.
They said that this guy was in a BlackRock commercial, but I heard that that's not true.
It's bullshit.
But that could be another one that they just throw out there.
Yeah, right.
You throw one out there like that, and then people retweet it, and those people look stupid because you retweeted something dumb, and then it weakens the public's faith in what you have to say about things, and also makes the story look stupid. Like that story about that whistleblower will forever be connected to people retweeting the fact that he died in a car accident, even though he didn't die in a car accident.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be shrouded in bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of genius.
It is, man. It's a great way to discredit.
Yeah, it's a great way to get somebody elected.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
When you're seeing the manipulation just in full bloom, just marching down the street in front of everybody, and no one's freaking out about it. That's what's really weird.
What do you think? I mean, have you thought about who's behind all these assassination attempts? You think they're lone wolves, or?
Well, was it Matt Gaetz that was saying that he's been informed that there's 5 different kill teams looking for Trump in the country right now?
Somebody did just say that. 2
of them are domestic.
I think Trump said that. I was just looking at
Trump said it? There's 5 guys. They think they're going to get me. They're not going to get me.
Yeah, he's got 2 right here.
So what's the quote? Big threats on my life by Iran. The U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves already been made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I am surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I have ever seen before. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving far more money to Secret Service. 0 no votes. What? 0 no votes, strictly bipartisan. Okay. Oh, I understand. 0 no votes, like no one voted against it. Strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker. Yeah, it wasn't just him that was saying that, though. It was, I'm pretty sure it was Matt Gaetz. I know I have that saved, too, if you want to. But, so if there really are 5 different kill teams in the country looking for Trump right now, that's just insane.
I bet it should be hard to find him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he has rallies, you know, giant rallies.
Yeah.
In New York, there was 60,000 people.
That's insane.
See, that's the difference between the Kamala Harris rallies. If
That's
that guy's telling the truth, and they really are just sort of manipulating this and putting on theater, That's a big difference between what's happening with Trump.
Yeah.
If he got organically got 60,000 people to come see him and freak out in New York. It's kind of, the media is a monster. It really is.